Let's look at those steps in a little more detail. Step 1. Identify or imagine trigger. While ERP is very effective with helping you overcome a real trigger, it will not be as helpful unless you have already practiced it multiple times before facing the real danger. Therefore, I recommend a commitment of 30 days with the complete ERP practice being the first thing you do every morning. In order to start the practice, you can imagine a trigger. For example, being home alone with a computer. Your body is not able to tell the difference between a mental image you create and a real-life situation. It will produce a similar physiological response. That way you can practice the exposure and response prevention techniques in a safe environment without having to expose yourself to real danger. If at any time during the day you begin to feel a strong craving and a desire to act out, follow up with another ERP exercise. Personally, at first I found myself doing 2-3 ERP exercises per day, but soon was able to get through most of my days with only 1 or 2 exercises. Step 2. Measure your pulse rate as soon as you observe your body begin to change. It is easier to measure it for 15 seconds and multiply it times 4. I'm going to provide a quick reference chart that you can download from my site, feedtherightwolf.org, which will help you to quickly convert your pulse rate and keep the records of your progress. After you record your pulse rate, follow up with a controlled breathing exercise. Simply breathe in for 10 seconds, hold your breath for 10 seconds, and breathe out for 10 seconds. Repeat it 10 times. I use my fingers to keep the count of my breaths, so I can free up my mind and concentrate on my breathing. Next, you review your personal statements. You will have to do a little homework on this. Just sit down and really think, why is that you want to get sober? Why do you want to stop this behavior? What will you be able to do in life if you do get sober? The answers that you come up with must be able to really touch your soul. Literally, you have to feel the goosebumps. That is how badly you need to want to stop this behavior and get the good things in your life. If you are not going to feel the goosebumps, if it is not going to touch your soul, it is just not going to be strong enough to make you choose to stop the behavior, follow up with the rest of exercise, and move on with the rest of your life. Some of the statements that I used were, my dreams of having a wife and a child will come true if I walk away. I will be stronger and more in control if I walk away. I will regain my self-respect and dignity if I walk away. My family will be proud of me if I walk away. I will be able to look into people's eyes and feel proud of myself if I walk away. You can download 30 sample statements from my site. One more note, I had my statements written out on 3x5 cards, and I would read them out loud. That way I was doing, moving cards, reading and hearing at the same time. Human beings learn the best by combination of doing, seeing, and hearing. Number 5, remeasure your pulse rate. When you first begin your ERP practice, you might notice that your pulse rate remains the same between step 2 and 5. Or maybe even you will notice it going up a little. It is normal. Over time, however, you will learn to decrease your pulse rate and you will be able to bring yourself back to the normal state. Ideally, you should be able to decrease your pulse rate by about 4 to 8 beats per minute. Additionally, over time, you will notice that pulse rate in step 2 will not be getting as high as it used to. This will also be a clear sign of your progress. Number 6, follow up with an act of self-care. This is very important and most overlooked step. You have to do something good for yourself. Preferably, you need to get out of the house. The best thing you can do for yourself is an outdoor exercise. That is what I did for my first 30 days when I broke my addictive cycle. I would go out and jog after my morning practice. If I felt the craving again during the day, I would do another ERP exercise and follow up with a different act of self-care. For example, cooking a healthy meal, or journaling, or taking a nap. I have a list of 67 healthy activities that I came up with posted on my blog. I want to mention one story that was the key element in putting this all together for me. Exposure and response technique is great, but I think it will work even better if you combine it with other approaches. So here's how the story goes. One evening, an old Cherokee told his grandson about a battle that goes on inside old people. He said, "My son, The battle is between two wolves inside us all. One is evil, it is anger, envy, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other is good. It is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The grandson thought about it for a minute and then asked his grandfather, "Which wolf wins?" The old Cherokee simply replied, "The one you feed." So I thought, what can I do to feed the right wolf? The answer was not as obvious as it might seem. Over time I came to the conclusion that if I took good care of myself, my good wolf will be stronger and my bad wolf will be weaker. Therefore, in addition to the daily practice of exposure and response prevention, I committed to the following rules. 8 hours of sleep every day. Eating healthy, 3 meals and 2 snacks a day. Drink plenty of water, at least 8 glasses a day. Journaling about my triggers. Meditating. Morning and evening prayer. And avoiding dangerous situations, acronym HALT, which stands for hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. Warning: when you will stop your addiction, you will begin to feel more pain in your life, not less. You used your addiction for a very long time to cope with the stress of life, and when you are going to stop relying on this crutch, you will feel the real pain. Just realize that this pain is temporary, but necessary consequence of your past mistakes. Use this pain as guide to identify what areas of your life need improvement and what was causing the pain and discomfort in the first place, causing you to look for ways to escape. Some of the things that helped me on my way to rebuilding a healthy lifestyle were 12-step groups. There is a lot of criticism out there in regards to 12-step groups, but I recommend doing what my sponsor told me to do. Take what works for you and leave the rest behind. The best thing about the 12-step group is that the infrastructure is already in place. If you live near a major city, chances are you will have multiple meetings in your area. If you live in a remote location, you can always attend a phone meeting. It is there, it is available, and you can meet people who have similar problems and are looking for similar solutions. And best of all, it will only cost you $2 donation. I have a full list of all 12 steps meetings posted on my blog. Professional counseling. Professional counseling is great, but you need to be careful and pick a counselor experienced with pornography addiction. Educate yourself. Read as much as you can about the problem. This is one of the best tools that you can use to help you in your recovery. It will help you with your addiction and it will help you to rebuild a new, healthy you. Spiritual life. Get involved with your spiritual life and make sure you make room for it in your life. And journal about your progress. Journaling was one of the most beneficial tools for me, and I cannot stress it enough. Also remember, progress and not perfection. Don't try to do it perfectly. Don't try to be perfect. You will make mistakes. We all do. As long as you keep working at it, you will get better. It took you many years to get this far into your addiction. Don't expect to fix it all in 30 days. It will take you some time. Be patient with yourself. Keep going, and your life will improve. If you stumble, don't beat yourself up. Just learn from your mistakes, and over time you will become a new person. If you keep working it, there is no other way. Your body will learn a new response. So this is really all I have. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for trying to change yourself, and thank you for looking for solutions. If you know somebody who is struggling with pornography addiction, please share this message with them. You can download a copy of this video and a quick summary as well as other resources at my blog at feedtherightwolf.org.